Hey, what's up, everybody? Wrong layout. Hold on. There we go. Let's try that one. All right. So 10 years and 2 days ago in Uber history. This is a big one, you guys. The glitch. Let's put it out there. TikTok live streams, selling accounts. Let's put that out there. And the big piece is still coming this week. And what the hell's going on with Waymo too? Right on the other side.
Well, midnight headlight, blinding on a rainy night, Steve Grade up ahead, slow me down and making no time. I gotta keep on rolling. Goes a windshield wiper, slapping out the tempo, breaking from the rhythm with the song on the radio. I gotta keep on rolling. I'm driving my life away.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Hold on a second. Let me see if I got. Oh, there we go. I got a little light now. So the first thing I had said, we got some things to go through today. The first thing I had said was the 10 years ago and 2 days. Anybody know what that was? That was the Kalamazoo mass shooting from the Uber driver. It was on February 20th in 2016. And, a lot of people might not even know this story. Oh, shit. I just screwed something up. A lot of people might not even know this story. This might be before you came into the community and maybe you don't remember it. You didn't have to be working gig apps to have this story pop up. I mean, this was national news, of course. But Kalamazoo, which my home state of Michigan, Kalamazoo's down there by Chicago. It's on the west side of the state. Kalamazoo community was changed forever 10 years ago. And this was written 2 days ago. So 10 years ago to the day, 2 days ago. In 7 hours, there were 3 crime scenes, 8 victims, and 6 people shot and killed. The convicted killer, Jason Dalton, was working for Uber that night collecting fares. With the help of the community and first responders, Dalton was later spotted and arrested in less than a minute once they found him. So it's a little confusing language there. Now, a decade later, Channel 3 Detroit reflects on the tragic night that happened. So this is kind of how it went down. Kind of recap it a little quick, but shots rang out the night of February 20th in Kalamazoo, Michigan. 911 call. Where did they shoot at? The news shook the nation. 6 people dead and 2 injured. 911 call. Please hurry up. Somebody fired shots. The chilling details soon emerged. An Uber driver was opening fire at random while collecting fares. 911. That's the person that shot him. Damn it. Come on. This thing keeps reloading. Let's go. That's the person that shot him. I don't know the car. Stand off, please. The first shots were fired at 5:42 p.m. The first victim was a young mother, Tiana Carruthers, who shielded her daughter from several other kids at the Meadows townhomes near Comstock. 911. I just need you to stay on the phone so I can get further information, okay? 911. We need someone here. Okay, are you over here at Meadows? Carruthers was shot 4 times but survived, and the 911 calls started pouring in. Please don't move. Please don't move. They are coming. Okay, they're coming. There's kids around. Dalton took off, changed cars, and began taking more fares across Kalamazoo County. This whole story, if you guys don't remember it, is just one of the craziest parts is this was 2016, but the technology was still there. Why the hell this is a big question to this day, and I'm sure you're asking it. Why is this guy still on the app? So just after 10 p.m., Dalton cut through the Sealy Kia dealership on Stadium Drive, where he shot and killed Richard Smith Jr. and his 17-year-old son, Tyler. I think you were getting rescue started. Sounds like one victim right now. Any similarity in the relation to the other one? Dalton then headed to a Texas Township restaurant where he once again opened fire in the parking lot. I'm at the Kalamazoo Cracker Barrel, and there's been gunshots in a car. There's gunshots in a car. Yes. Okay. Anybody hit? There, Dalton shot and killed 4 best friends: Judy Brown, Barbara Hawthorne, Mary Lou Nye, Mary Jo Nye, and 14-year-old Abigail Kopp, who was rushed to the hospital after being shot in the head. So 911. What's the vehicle that fired the gun? It's a blue HRR, dark blue, and it drove off. So with that vehicle description, Kalamazoo County Sergeant Jim Harrison spotted Dalton just after midnight and called for backup. Dash cam, put your hands up where we can see him. Wait a minute. James Dalton was within a minute, James Dalton was arrested on Ransom Street. That's the only laugh we're going to get out of this one, guys. I think it's funny that it's Ransom Street. In downtown Kalamazoo. We got 1 in custody, 1 weapon off them. I feel pride in knowing that we stopped anything else from happening. Dalton was arraigned in Kalamazoo courtroom after he told police his ride-sharing app. This is where it's weird, guys. If you don't know the story, this is where it gets weird. So when he was in court, Dalton was arraigned in Kalamazoo County Court, and after he told the police his ride-sharing app was controlling his mind, and he demanding he rapidly kill people. So the Uber app was controlling his mind and telling him, demanding that he kill people. With regret to bond, is there anything you wish to tell the court at this time concerning your connections with the community? The judge asked Dalton, and he said, I would prefer to remain silent. However, at Dalton's preliminary hearing, his emotional outburst got him dragged out of the courtroom. Dalton later pled to murdering 6 people, the victim's family speaking out in court, before he was sentenced to life in prison in 2019. Every day I wake up to the reality that 2 people that I loved more than life itself, I will never see again, Lori Smith said. Oops, I did it again. But I think we got through the article enough there. There's some more testimonial from the families, and by no means am I trying to downplay the families. The reason I read that article out first, guys, was because I think that we hear about this violence all the time. But this is 10 years ago, and this was the most violent rampage we know of from a rideshare driver. Still to this day, there are worse dismemberments and one-off type things, but never a guy driving around a college town just going off, killing people because the app told him to. And the reason I keep harping on that, the app told him to part, excuse my voice there, is because I'm surprised. I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised we haven't heard that already more than just that. Like I'm surprised we haven't had more people come forward with the lack of background checks and the horrible job they do and say, listen, what, the app told me to do it. I mean, I feel like this could be an insanity plea. It's going to be up there with like the algorithm. Explain how the algorithm works to the CIA and the IRS who want a complete Doug audit out. Okay, yeah, let me from Uber tell you how that works. No, that doesn't work. People are going to be pleading insanity, and the apps tell them to do things, and just because they're working 20 hours a day and they're not getting sleep. I know that sounds extreme, but that was the first major. We had violence, of course, but that was the first major multiple killing by an Uber driver. ever in this space. And I still think to date, it's still the only like mass one. So because it's 10 years, I wanted to bring it up. And before we get into these topics tonight, because I got some good ones, man. I also wanted to bring up this quick story because the reason I'm going to talk about this story tonight, sometimes I need to put a spin on why I'm bringing up the story. Because I don't want to just talk about any given random, even like, hurt, kidnapped, violence, that kind of stuff. Like it happens daily now. So I'm not going to talk about, I don't mean it mean, but I'm not going to talk about it every time we do a podcast. Since the last podcast, there's been 4 killings, 16 Uber teen assaults, and I'll talk about them when I can fit it into the content. And here's why it fits into the content. Because often we talk about drivers doing things because it's on the app. Well, I do Uber Connect. Of course it's legal. It's on the app. I do liquor delivery. Of course it's legal. We've talked to, from guests and other people, we've talked to 5 states. Out of the 5 states, how many? All 5. You need to be liquor certified to work in. We know this now. Probably going to be almost every state. However, there are a couple that maybe have some other different designs. But even in those states, I will tell you that companies never going to have your back. They're going to turn from you. Don't think that on liquor they got you. They don't. But I want to bring up this story because this is a rideshare driver. He did nothing wrong, but he missed doing a lot of right things at the right time. And again, the reason of the comparison is because over in England, as I've told you guys many times, they have a little RF code. So when the passenger comes up, they can see that that's my driver. Yes, he's certified. Oh, he went to the TLC training class in London that does the black cabs and the taxis and things of London as well. All of transport. Oh, okay. Rideshare drivers there actually know what they're doing and they can prove it. But a drunk mom was arrested in Florida. If you guys have heard this story, she gets into an Uber. She speaks Spanish only. She's going off on the phone. She has a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old with her. And let me read it because some of it's so weird to me. Like this is what I'm talking about, drivers not knowing what to do. Because again, this is just a rideshare ride. Now, if he's bigger than Uber X, which it doesn't say in here. So like if he's driving an Uber, if he's driving like a 6-seater, then is he insured? Because only up to Uber X are you insured by Uber. You're partially insured for the bigger rides, but you're not fully insured. You need to go out and get some transport insurance. So again, let's just assume he's X, okay? So he's got this lady, and she gets in, and he said he could smell rum in the cup. So she's yelling at somebody, and the drunk mom allegedly kept uttering, he thinks I'm stupid in Spanish, and told the driver to turn, deviating from the GPS to where she had put in. So he pulls over to stop. He's not really going to go her direction, but he's stopping to like, what the hell's going on? And as he stops, she grabs his phone and she cancels the ride. She takes the driver's phone out of his hand. She cancels the ride. And what happens next is mind-blowing. She hands him back the phone. She leaves the car and she says, "I'll be back in 3 minutes." Let me report this correctly. Oh, and when she canceled the ride, she handed him a $10 bill. She canceled the ride and handed him a $10 bill, handed him the phone back and said, "Sorry," in Spanish. And then she got out and said, 3 minutes, I'll be back. So after being unable to reach the mom again, okay, so wait, no, I need to read the first one first. So here we go. So the driver called the mom after an hour. He sat there with those kids for an hour. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have, just so you guys know, I wouldn't have even waited the 3 minutes. I would have called 911 the minute she touched my phone. Definitely the minute she's like scrambling and touching and grabbing and canceling. And yeah, I'm calling 911. I definitely am calling 911. I'm turning off my car and I'm getting out of it and I'm standing in sight of it until the police get there because I don't want to be anywhere near her kids. I don't know what this is all about. I'm going to get out of the car. I'm going to go stand in front of it. I'm going to have the car key on me and I'm going to turn the car off and I'm just going to say, you guys stay right there until the police get here. And that's what I'm going to do. But this guy sits there for an hour. He calls her and she says that she needs 12 more minutes. Now, 2 hours pass. The guy calls her. She doesn't answer. So the guy says, maybe I should call 911. Maybe I should call 911. So the driver called 911. 2 hours after this happens, the mom was found by the police walking outside a McDonald's that was 2 miles away, appearing intoxicating and slurring her words as she answered their questions. And she's been charged with 1 count of child neglect and 2 counts of desertion of a child. I'm not sure what they've done about the driver part yet, but the driver did everything wrong here. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry he did. Like, if you don't know that, this is the kind of stuff we talk about. Like, if you don't know that's not okay. You're not delivering food. If you're doing rideshare and you don't know to call the police when kids are abandoned in your car, I mean, he said he could smell the glass of rum when she got into the car that was in a plastic cup. I would have taken that and taken it from her and thrown it out the window. And if she said anything, I'd have said, you can get out if you want. Sorry, you can't have it in here. I don't care. I watch out for my back. I can't believe that somebody would think, well, I'll just keep watching her kids. So, yeah, that's all I got for that one, man. Before we get into some of these other fun ones, see, those other ones are fun. Let me say something. What's up, Traveler? What's up, Sue? What's up, Torp? What's up, Rick? What's up, Sean? What's up, Toyo? What's up, Mike Don't Care? And what's up, Kyle? How you guys doing? This is why I keep it simple with the Chick-fil-A deliveries, folks. All right. But yeah, I don't know. The reason, I mean, these stories pop up all the time, but this one, just all the flags up to me are on the driver. This whole story is supposed to be about the bad mom. And it is, but to me, it's more about the driver. Like, dude, this driver in my opinion, he has no right being out on the road doing this work. He doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, I often use the bar comparison to things. I would never put a person I hired that day to work in the kitchen who's never worked in a restaurant bar in his life and say, you know what? I need you to bartend. And if you need anything, just let me know. Like, I'm not saying rideshare requires that you learn 50 primary drinks and then as many outskirt ones as you can. But I'm saying that in other countries, like I like to compare it to London because that's our comparison. They make you take those classes. You have to. You can't get your TLC license. And yes, you have to have a TLC license. You have to get fingerprinted. You have to pass the classes. You have to know what the hell you're doing. And I'm not sure that this exact scenario comes up in that, but I'm sure something close to it does. I am sure that they talk about, hey, if kids are abandoned in the car, you call the police. Like, right that second. That's where I guess I was getting at with this. If that's if you need to hear that, I don't need to hear that. I know that. But if you need to hear that, some people might, then yes, we absolutely need these classes because you know what? You can't just say, oh, I didn't know that. Just so I make it as clear as I can, just so you know, like, I didn't know that isn't going to work in court. Your lawyer's not even going to deal with it well. He's going to try and re-strategize with you. Even if like you truly are like, I didn't know that for real. He's going to say, dude, they're going to burn you in the chair. We got to come up with a better lie than that, but it's not a lie. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You believed that you were just allowed to do all these things on the app. Do you have experience being a courier, walking into a post office and dropping off packages? Do you have a courier bond? That you don't even need insurance for. You need a courier bond. That's why people take bonding classes. That's why people take those classes to certify documents and stuff. Because you can't just go get a rubber stamp and go, yeah, I do that. Yep, that's your signature. Boom. You have to go to a 3-day class and get certified because there's law that tells you exactly how many copies you need to make, where they need to be sent to, what did you document. It's not that much different in rideshare and other apps. Like we really, this no barrier to entry. Hold on one second here. Sorry, dog was going the wrong way. But yeah, I mean, that's the mom story. I don't know. Again, I didn't focus on the mom as much. Yes, she was way wrong, but people are like going to do way wrong things in rideshare all the time. It's up to the driver to stop it, fix it, correct it, stop it in its place. And this guy's just like, almost like in my book, almost like he's part of the problem. Like, do you know this woman? Like, how the hell are you okay with it? You know, she's drinking rum. She gets out and leave 2 kids in your car and you're just sitting there for an hour listening to the radio. What the fuck are you doing? Sorry about my language, but seriously, what are you doing? And then like, you're like, where is she? And an hour later you call her and then she's like 12 more minutes and you're like, okay, well, it really better be. And then you just go back to listening to music again for an hour. And then you're like, I think I should call the police. I think you shouldn't be able to do a rideshare anymore. And I'm just being honest. And yeah, you don't know what you need to know to do it. That's a fact. So I know that Torp made a video about the glitch. I don't really spend a lot of time talking about it, but since it's building into a piece that I'm doing before this month ends, that is, it'll be next Saturday, I think is the last day of the month. So that's when I'm planning on dropping it. And then I'll be back to 13s, but this piece is actually taking up a lot of my time. And I actually was breaking away from it because I didn't want to overflow. Like for 3-4 episodes, I was just doing this because I was so deep into it. Well, I'm deeper than you guys even know in the TikTok stuff. So I really quickly want to address the glitch. So the DoorDash glitch. Okay. We have it on Android only. Had it forever as an airplane mode thing. The G thing. Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm going to call it the glitch because it is the glitch. And again, it's the glitch. DoorDash knows about it. It's the glitch. They know about it. They're not going to go recode the whole damn thing because a few people know how to use a damn glitch. Is it wrong? Hell yeah. Should people optimize it? At this point, the company that doesn't lack ethics but has zero, I would say you got to do what you got to do. And there's so many worse things going on here that if that works, in my opinion, that doesn't seem as illegal. I'm an iPhone guy, so I have never really had the privilege of watching this, although I have had it displayed from in front of me in person, not on somebody on a camera and I'm on another one and we're virtual. Like in person, I've had somebody show me, hey, here's how, look, watch. This is the original airplane mode one. And then I know about this one that involves data and all that. You guys, DoorDash knows about this too. The number of full-time drivers is shrinking as the number of part-times grows. The apps would love 100% part-time gig workers. They're never going to get to there. And they do need a certain sample size of full-timers or else a lot of things will not get done. That's just really a fact. States want more gig workers. The lawmakers I talked to, and I've really never spoke about this yet, but the lawmakers I've talked to, like some of the things that they really are encountering now as we keep moving forward with some of this other stuff is that they want more gig workers that are doing it to either become full-time or very part-time. They don't want in each state, they don't want so many people working part-time on the gig app. So like, let's say whatever the number is, who cares? But let's just say the percentage. They don't want 90% of the people being part-time 15 to or 10 to 20 hours or less than 10. They want a good portion to be full-time so they can start kind of, even though they're independent contractors by tax reasons and other definitions that apply in labor law. They want more people to be full-time because we're losing track of what people are doing in this country. And they're fine with that. That kind of goes against the gig apps, though. The gig apps love the part-timers. If ever any kind of some of the stuff that some legislation's trying to throw at it, it can absolutely, if everybody worked 15 hours or less, there are some states that they could just flip off and say, screw you, screw your legislation. We're just going to keep running like this forever. Not till it goes in the ground, but forever. But they can't get just that little number. And the states are actually fighting for this big time. And so there's some things that we'll be talking about down the road because phase A and B are back again. And I'm submitting as many as I can, guys. Everything has to happen before November. So that doesn't mean, October. That doesn't mean October. I mean, if you find it October 1st and you hit me up and it's a state we haven't submitted and whatever, yeah, I'm going to help you. Let's go. But I would even say by October, before October 1st, first letters, second letters, all this should be if it's bombarded, it's good. That's a good thing because if states even hear about it, they have record of it. The documentation that we've been creating actually sits I know this from this state. It actually does sit in the House of Reps or in the Senate, in the assistant to the senator or House of Reps people that we sent it to. It sits in their file. And then it's keyworded too into their database so that if they ever get in this way, here's how things work. So let's say a senator wants to pass this bill, and this senator's trying to work with them on some things. And all of a sudden they find in the database that we connect on this no unionization of gig workers. And we do see this file size of people and we know these names that we can go, we should connect about that. And then it helps their other bills go. So the more of these letters that get into the files, the better, because otherwise what it is 5 to 10 people, maybe 20 or 30 in some states that are going down there saying that they want to be union workers and they want to work on these platforms. Here's my opinion. Let's say there's 30. And that would be way high. Like here in Colorado, we had single digits that were trying to make themselves sound like an army, though. We're the 7 here representing 7,000. No, you're not. You're the only 7 doing this. So whatever. But they are able to sell some politicians and some lobbyists on that. And the lobbyists will bite on that too. Like, let's make you 7 look like 700 or 7,000. But that's not the case. So we need more letters from us because they love an option that doesn't involve money. When you involve a union, even if you're thinking, well, yeah, but the union takes from the drivers and then the company and them have to work it out. The states are sick of dealing with these companies in the first place. Believe it or not, our states do have a lot of work to do. So like they having to deal with this, it's not like they just want to kick it to the side and not care. But it's like, dude, enough. Like, let's get this thing done. I'm sick of this crap. That's where they're at with the companies. That's why the companies are having their toughest year with legislation. Because for too long, for too many years, the legislators, the lawmakers, the politicians, people who've had backing from these companies, now they have backing from companies that contradict what these companies are doing. A lot of the AI companies contradict what these companies are doing. It's almost like, are you in bed with DoorDash? Because we'll pay you 10 times as much, but you can't be in bed with DoorDash. So they're going to have to deal with things out in the open now. They're not going to have the cover and shade of lawmakers this year. And there's good and bad out there. But the glitch, so the DoorDash glitch, it's on Android. You can do it. You can raise your AR. And then now you can still do it and you can raise your AR. Do they know about it? Absolutely. When we were doing Para, when we had the 250,000 users on Para transparency, not ParaWorks, the side that I was working on, but the transparency that Jeff and David came up with. So that would drop down the full amount. When we were at our peak, it was 250,000 users on Para active, and that was 2021. They watched that number grow. When it was at that number, almost it was like 197,000, like almost 200,000 of the 250 were iPhone users. Only 20% were Android. So now the 20% Android, let's say, looking for that type of thing, are using the glitch, and not all of them do, but the ones who do, they do, and they're slipping through. Is that the end of the world? No. And here's the thing: is DoorDash going to go back and clog a hole about, hey, we got this glitch thing where people can raise their AR? All right, well, screw it. I mean, those who know, and whatever. We got bigger fish to fry if the once the FTC and the RICO case drops and the FTC looking into us and the lawsuits coming, we have way bigger things that are facing us than that. So, Uber Eats, the Uber Eats glitch. My guess is that on that one, it's literally too much coding and they don't care. Not enough people do it. Not enough people switch the pet mode. And then bam, bam, bing. And by the way, guys, feel free to explain any glitches in the chat. I'm happy about that. I know that sometimes people are like, let's not talk. I don't care. Like, put it in the chat. If you guys want to tell people how to do it, do it. You should. I mean, I don't do them, but I don't do enough food delivery. If I lived in rural Colorado and I had DoorDash and Uber Eats and maybe Uber Rideshare in a very small town, and that's all I had really available to me, who knows what I might do. No, I'm not going to break laws and buy bots and do that kind of crap. But if I can do something that through my interfacing changes the way it works for me, I am, maybe only because of what I'm about to get into and the fact that they don't care, and the Facebook sales and everything else. If they were running this company properly, if they cared about all the illegals last year, if they cared about the TikTok, Facebooks going on live sales, and if they were trying to constantly control this and doing a better job, even then, in my scenario, in a rural area, maybe then, because my ethical compass would say, hell no, don't do it. It would literally say to me, if I have to do this, something's so wrong that, maybe I should go do something else. I'm not saying that right now, though. My thing is, if they were trying to run a good company, that would probably be my stand. The fact that they're letting everything that we're talking about here happen and not give a shit, and I mean that. TikTok doesn't care, and in the piece that I'm doing for next Saturday, you guys will see the entire breakdown. I'm going to show you guys many accounts, and again, I'll say it even right now: steve@ridesharerodeo.com. If you guys want to email me, I will email you back TikTok links. Now, realize I had a couple people ask me. I sent it to them. They saw. So realize I will send it to you. It does get into your algorithm. No joke. And of course it does, but it really gets into your algorithm. I can tell you guys that I'm not really ready to divulge the whole piece yet, but you're going to be mind blown at what the hell is going on here. The account prices, the variation, how the game works on TikTok, how they get up to selling these. And so if there's being sold on, like, okay, I was just telling, I was just saying that I've probably seen 35 or 40 of these accounts. Some of them seem to be just kind of barely straggling along on the lives on TikTok. And then some of them are jamming. I know why. I'm going to explain it in the piece, because it all comes down to some TikTok money. It's like seed money, though. It's the upfront money in a live that isn't even going to the fake accounts. It's going to get just to like the diamonds and we need to reach this goals and stuff like that. And people come in the first 20 minutes and just start donating. They're not even buying anything to get it to that point, because they won't start rolling the show until they're at that. Those are the ones selling 600 to 1,100 accounts on the daily. Like I was saying, there are some people who are live almost every night, and they're some of the biggest ones. They're some of the worst ones out there that I've seen. But I've been researching this for 2.5 weeks now, and I'm pretty much done with my research. I'm definitely going to be through the week. I'm going to be putting some ideas together, and I might see a few more lives this week. But I'm actually trying to, because I've got all my research documented, everything, the accounts, the hyperlinks on TikTok, screenshots, everything you would think you'd need. I have it all. So we'll be talking about it in that piece, but I'm telling you that what is going on there, and people buying those accounts that are already activated We're working in beyond a broken system. Last year, it was just the Facebook illegal accounts, whether it be somebody here illegally or somebody who was deactivated that learned about the illegal accounts, and somebody who pays taxes in the US and got deactivated learned through the illegals who were getting illegal accounts. Wait, I guess I could do that too. Now, they weren't nearly as big of a percentage. They were such a small piece of the pie. And I just need to say that because it's true. Is it growing? Probably. There's probably more people getting deactivated now who have legal accounts who are just like, screw it. Just like the restaurants know how bad things are. The customer knows they're getting screwed. All the drivers have known for a while. The whole system's kind of exposed at the moment. We're not seeing its algorithm and all being able to go, whoa, that means that. Like, we're not quite there, but man, we're pretty close to like crowdsourced transparency, if that makes sense. You guys know what crowdsourcing is. Like, think of it that way. Like, we've crowdsourced enough information, and including lawmakers and people trying to put together federal budgets. We have lawmakers who are pushing portable benefits, which I've never been a big fan of. But this Thursday, I got to plug it. Sorry, guys, I got to be cheap and plug it. I will have Lou and Mary on. You guys know I have them on once a year. It's always an amazing discussion. I'm going to be talking about the bid for service, the cap on drivers, and all these type of things that I've been coming up with along with what they've been up to. But I've been waiting to have like them on. They're part-timers. They both have full-time jobs. But if you guys know Lou and Mary, they have a great channel, and they do this for extra money every weekend. They have kids in college and whatnot. So, and they have great content. Their videos are great. But I think they're going to be great as part-timers who have the ability to go back to full-time. And yes, they wouldn't have the extra disposable income that they make from gig apps, but at any time they could go right back to no gig app work at all, and their lives are still good. So it's a very different scenario. So I'm hoping that when I present that, that's going to kind of speak for itself. But yeah, so when we go back to the illegal accounts on Facebook, we got people who probably hit up family and friends. I know people who did. Shit, I got deactivated. I'll just have my girlfriend do it, or whatever. Enough people have emailed me their stories. I don't judge people. If they're telling me some like major scam, of course I'm gonna be like, dude, I don't know you, and I might even probably talk about that. But I'm just saying, don't email me and say you committed murder and expect me to cover it up. But most of the emails that come to me, I can understand the driver's perspective 100%. Do I say I condone it and stuff? No, but I'm here to listen to people on that kind of stuff, and I hear them. I hear it. Why shouldn't I go buy a fake account? And I'm thinking, with the ethical missing compass from this company, and if you need it to make money and you got deactivated on a day when you were out of state traveling with your kids, I don't know what the hell to tell you, because in most states, unlike Colorado, there is no deactivation board. You can't challenge something. You can, but we all know how a challenge looks in other states. Come on. And even the other states are aware of it. Some of them are starting to barter with it, but they're also willing to play with that. And I think that shouldn't be played with at all. There should be a human review if challenged. We found here in Colorado that way less deactivations were challenged than we thought would be. So there were, like I've said before, I think there were a lot of smack talkers and some chats and things like that, and on Reddit saying, I was wrongfully deactivated. But when it came time to were you? You open the app, you're in Colorado, and it's deactivated. Is it, I have no idea why that happened, and you're like, seriously, I have no idea, I'm challenging it? Or is it deactivated and you're like, shh, I was wondering if that was going to happen? Because if that's your first reaction, you know why you're deactivated. You still might then go to the place of, I was still right on that and blah, blah, blah. But if you instantly are like, shit, it's that one thing, right there why you got deactivated. It might not be just, it might not be okay, but you know why it happened. I don't know if you know this. This is just pure entertainment. It's 7 seconds. I didn't know there were gangs out there now hurting the robots.
I'm full of clankers, nigga. If you a clanker, don't come around me. Oh God, nigga.
Yikes. Wouldn't want to be a robot in that town. And then we got the China delivery. This is pretty good.
自动驾驶中，随时停车，请保持2米车距。自动驾驶中，随时停车，车辆右转，请注意安全。车辆右转，请注意安全。自动驾驶中，车辆左转，请注意安全。车辆左转，请注意安全。自动驾驶中，请保持2米车距。自动驾驶中，随时停车，请保持。
Did you guys see the speed that that thing was going down the street in? Oh my gosh. Okay, so as we move forward here, I want to move into Waymo. And Waymo, yeah, we got a lot to talk about Waymo. I saw Sean in there. I know he's in there and whatnot. It's not a full Waymo night, but there's a reason why we need to talk about this. And I know most of you have probably already seen this. This is the Waymo CEO giving a Senate testimony hearing. It's only 2 minutes, but when I come back, I want to tell you what I feel is wrong. It's beyond just what you're first going to hear. There's more to it than just his answer. Sometimes you gotta read into things a little bit, but it's bad enough. Let's check this out.
Yes or no, does Waymo employ humans located remotely to help its vehicles navigate difficult driving scenarios?
Senator, they provide guidance. They do not remotely drive the vehicles. As you stated, Waymo asks for guidance in certain situations and gets an input, but the Waymo vehicle is always in charge of the dynamic driving task. So that is just one additional input.
But the human being helps the vehicle to navigate those difficult driving scenarios. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So are all of these human operators located in the United States? Are they all here?
No, we have some in the U.S. and some abroad.
So how does that break down? What % are abroad?
Senator, I don't have that number for you. We can get back to you.
Is it a majority are abroad?
I just don't have that number.
Well, that's very curious that someone who's running the program has no idea how that workforce breaks down. Just seems kind of curious that you don't know that answer. But are some of these operators located outside the United States?
Yeah, some are located abroad.
Yeah, and so for me, that's fairly shocking. Waymo has critical safety employees who may need to intervene in a split second if a Waymo encounters an unknown dangerous situation located in the United States, but they are outside the United States. In what countries are these employees located?
The Philippines.
Jimmy?
The Philippines.
So they are in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Mr. Pena, that is completely unacceptable. And here's why. Having people overseas influencing American vehicles is a safety issue. The information the operators receive could be out of date. It could introduce tremendous cybersecurity vulnerabilities. We don't know if these people have U.S. driver's licenses. And let's not forget, Waymo is trying to replace the jobs of hardworking taxi and rideshare drivers. And now you're saying that of the human beings, the human jobs that remain in the system, you're shipping those jobs overseas. It's one thing when a taxi is replaced by an Uber or a Lyft. It's another thing when the jobs just go completely overseas.
You guys, this was a Senate hearing. Waymo's under way more. They're under way more pressure than everybody thinks. We all see the news and we're like, oh, they hit the kid. Now, when's the news going to come out? That's all good and rip them up. And it doesn't. And then this happens. And then they sue the California DMV to hide their records and they win. And it's like, what the hell? Why is everything rolling out like this? They're flirting with disaster here right now. And all the papers are ready to run the worst stories, even though they're in bed with them. There's a lot of legacy media that can no longer play 100% fake. They just can't. People are just too onto it, and they know they're losing people to TikToks and things like that where people are talking about the truth. So here's my issue with that, and that's the Senate, the House, everybody knowing there's a big problem here. You guys are self-insured. That's a big problem. We don't understand it. That's a big problem. The parts don't work. So we already, as we heard from Brian Greening when he was on, that we already knew, but it's always good to hear it from the lawyer who confirmed it. Yes, against a Waymo, they can't be ticketed yet. We can. They can't get a ticket. They can't be at fault. There's states that have just 70% redacted. But as Bryant said, if you get hit by one, you're going to need to find a lawyer that does product liability cases. And that's going to mean that the lawyer then needs to put up like hundreds of thousands of dollars for you, as opposed to like Bryant taking you on as a client in everyday just life without autonomous in the mix. And he's like, I can win this person this much money. I'm going to need to put in 5 or 10 grand. Let's roll with it. And he moves forward with the case. But he was saying how, like, dude, with these product liabilities, even with the lawyers in place that do that, they're not going to take cases against Waymo to prove a LiDAR doesn't work, even if it doesn't. He's like, these are going to have to be I don't know. It's out of hand. They're not legal. It's just like the gig apps. Really, the gig apps aren't even legal. It's like I said about on a short. So some of you might have missed it, but DoorDash is a house of cards right now. Its stock, even rebounding, is just, I was looking at it today because everybody was, somebody sent me something and said like, and I know who the somebody was. I just don't want to say, because I always respect the, oh, it's not moving, man. It's fucking frozen. Ah, sorry. Nope, it's froze. I can't get up to my screenshots, but okay. Here's my problem with what just happened in that Waymo video. So the Waymo the safety security officer, the CSO for Waymo, and the word chief in front means he's worldwide. So the chief person in charge of security for Waymo at his hearing said that the safety drivers are in the Philippines. He didn't say what percentage, just so you guys are aware, it is over 80%. I don't have the exact number. It's over 80% just in the Philippines. They outsource to other areas too, but almost all of them are in the Philippines. Now, there is major stuff going on in the Philippines politically, just as there is everywhere in the world. It's around the country from us. And one of the biggest attacks that's going on that side of the globe is cyber warfare and network security. So the people who are safety driving these cars are on an unstable network in the Philippines that if it did get hacked or went down, yeah, sure, most likely a few hours, maybe a day. Who knows? An ultimate attack, maybe 3-4 days. Who knows? But the point is that if they get hacked and they go down at all, and then in the real time, what's up? Why isn't that localized here? So, and that's why I say, why is that not sourced in country? Data cost is up high. So the data cost, and then the Philippine workers, they've literally done the math, and even with the data cost up and the Philippine worker pay, they're saving what, nickels on the dollar, as opposed to having US people doing these. So that's a problem. Now, happen to do a little Chat GPT rabbit hole digging here. And I wanted to know how many, and again, I couldn't get, as we talked about when I had Tom on this last Thursday, AI is a very funny space. But I did ask enough questions to say, because there's a lot of these call centers in the Philippines. I got no problem with that if it's for products and things like that they can be adapt to. But after going down the rabbit hole, I wanted to know how many Philippine support agent drivers that only influence, as he said, the AI of the Waymo. So they're not technically driving it, they just influence. Now, again, that's holding him at his word. I have a feeling that they are able to take some remote control, not full. But again, the person he even said it, who's supposed to step in and influence the AI when a Waymo goes wrong is in the Philippines. Now, when I went down the rabbit hole, I needed to see how many call center people for Waymo. That led me to a dead end because you got to be careful when you use company name. I said, how many call center people are certified in, so I ran across other call centers for other things. And I was like, are they certified? Some spaces were, some spaces weren't. When I finally got down to rideshare did come up. I was able to discuss rideshare with ChatGPT. When I said, how many of the Philippine support centers, rideshare agents, human agents, are certified with U.S. U.S. traffic law and hold a U.S. driver's license, or are completely familiar. I just kept going on and on and on as they kept responding the answers. But the overall answer was 0. There are 0 people trained at these Philippine centers on how U.S. streets work. I've done production work all over the world. The Philippines is a great place. I mean, there's a lot of great places, but everywhere I've ever gone, everybody drives completely different. Even when you get into Europe and it's like, okay, I'm getting into a like a little thing here, and all those countries fit right together in that small little space. If you've never been, it's an amazing place. But there's Denmark and all, they're all right in there. Belgium, you could just keep going. Germany, even, like, they're all not that big. So you can kind of cruise around this area and it feels a little bit the same, but every country's a little different. Yeah, they're driving on the other side of the road, but feels a little different. All different laws, different languages, all different kinds of things. But you're telling me that just to save a few cents, we're risking network security, hacking on a global level, a product that doesn't work to begin with. A kid has now been hit in a school zone. They're still not able to deal with the buses even after the recall. They evade police. They drive the wrong way on the highway. They get stuck in water. The list is endless, and it's stupid. I mean, it's stupid how many videos, even, like, that's what I was saying. Like, wait till this rolls out in more and more cities, even with the few in each city. And it's already happening. It doesn't happen on YouTube, but those on TikTok know that, man, like, my algorithm is people selling TikTok accounts for DoorDash and Spark and all that other crap and doing it all night long. And so that kind of like illegal territory. And then it's all Waymo and autonomous BS. That's my whole feed in TikTok. And I love it because that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. But the Waymo stuff is coming out more and more and more and more as they go anywhere. They're screwing up everywhere. So it used to be confined to little spaces, and they had the municipals paid off and the high ups paid off, and they were bringing suitcases of money and saying, we're self-insured. Don't worry about it. By the way, don't try and write us any tickets. We saw that in Arizona. I did that study for 2 years, in a 2-year period, or just short. It was 22 months, I believe. There was 212. I still remember these numbers. There was 212 accidents involving Waymo, and at least 71 or 73, don't hold me to it, so we'll go with 71 just to be safe. At least 71 were the fault of Waymo, and the cop wrote it down, but there was no driver to ticket. So what happens? The report goes back to the office, and they black out, they redact 70% of the cop's accounting of it, even though he reported it correctly. Somebody else above him, and not like it, they're not like hiding it. They just don't know what else to do with it. They're like, his report says this vehicle hit this vehicle. We need to charge this vehicle. There was no driver. There's no law in place. Without a driver, you can't do anything. So they have to let him off the hook. They have to say that, here, all this is redacted. So we got that. We got, this. I mean, these guys are on a Senate hearing. Just wait till they do hit a kid. They killed a cat in San Francisco, and that, I know that a lot of people that you're thinking cat, it sucks, but come on. That cat, actually, San Francisco is a weird city. The cat was very well known. It was part of a community. there was a whole story behind it. So it actually did matter a lot. Then the kid gets hit down in Santa Monica, 2-3 weeks ago. These things are screwing up left and right. Soon they're going to kill somebody, and that's when we'll see a little pause and a drop in their stock. But this is where we're at. We're at a company that is just lying. We're at all these illegal accounts, and still the illegal people in the country buying these accounts, and people getting deactivated and buying these accounts. When you guys hear the breakdown again, the only reason I'm not fully going into it is because I want to get it right. It won't be a live. It's going to be a video, guys, and it's going to be one take. You know me, it's not going to be edited. It's going to be one take, but it's going to have every piece of information you need. You're going to see, if you're asking how much do they cost, I'm going to tell you the whole range, and I'm going to explain what the difference is, because there's a difference in buying one for a DoorDash account on TikTok Live for $150 as compared to $900. Is the $900 always the best? Is it always the cream of the crop? Most of them are the higher price ones would be. However, there are some that are charging the $900 that are only worth the $150, and what they do are different things. One is a quicker burner account and potential higher risk of losing it. It's insane. I'm going to have to whittle it down to get it to 25 minutes. Because even if I'm talking really quick on one topic, this one, I would think it would take me 35, 40 minutes. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try and get it into a 25-minute piece. I think anything above that really won't get as many eyes on it as I'd like to. And I mean, if this doesn't get eyes on it, because you don't, as has been pointed out to me, you don't need to have a channel to share a video. And just if you just have a channel, you can share a video. So when I drop this, share it. If you don't have a channel, but you support a lot of what we talk about here and whatnot, share it out. Because you know what? What if it gets seen by 1, 2, 3 people, or even just one, but that one has an interest in that space? Maybe it's an investor even that we don't hear more about, but we're saving him a little bit because he's hearing the insight that he wants, that he's been looking for. Like, God damn it, I knew that this stuff was going on. Like, what the heck? Like, even if it's enough to cause skepticism, like, okay, I am pausing. That's kind of a sign. But then what if somebody shares it out with somebody else? What if that person shares it out with a lawmaker? What if that lawmaker gets to a lawmaker I've talked to and says, yeah, I know Steve. Hell, I mean, this is the best way this community works, just so you know. The best way that we get things done, like the Kim Cavins, the John Lopez, Mike Harubi, Karen Andersons, and all the people on here who have been like such a help to me. I mean, and helping the community. Like this is what we can do. We have a voice. But I'm not saying that in a let's unionize type way. I'm saying we have a voice that can be really annoying and should be until they fix it. All of us are willing to play ball, correct the game, and we'll all play by the rules. Is that a fair assessment? I mean, like some people might be using, like I said, some people might be using the glitch right now. Okay. I mean, they're selling on one stream, they're selling 1,600 or 1,100 accounts on a night. And I've found 35 or 40 streamers. There's probably so many more. That's all I've found so far. There's got to be hundreds, if not thousands. But I've caught on to a lot of the big ones too. If they're all like, if there's 5 of them live and they're doing 1,100, that's 5,500. If you guys think, well, that's not, it's a lot, but no, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that's one day on 5 streamers. Now, again, I know at least there's got to be 50 times what I've seen. There's no way I've seen them all because I still keep running across more. But if they're doing that and if there's a glitch, yeah, I mean, like, what do you expect? The company doesn't have ethics. The company will deactivate you while you're sleeping. So even those people who are like, dude, I watch my AR, I do the metrics right, and I'm not bagging on anybody that does that. You got to do you. I understand that. I've told you my opinion on it all, but you got to do you. If you have found out something in your market that you are sure of, then do it. If you're sure of it. Just saying, be careful. Don't let somebody else tell you that, yeah, you're right. You're right. See, I told you. Like, you be sure of it, because I'm telling you, DoorDash has the ability to end any weight of metrics immediately. We've seen it here in Colorado. Yes, they were pushed into transparency laws. But we've seen it here in Colorado. For closest to pin gets it. Your stupid rating doesn't matter. I can dash now anytime I want, and it's never busy. It just shows busy, so we can all dash now. It's everything changed when that went in place. What I'd seen is like 16 grayed out areas in the Denver metro for a year on DoorDash, and had to maybe schedule a 2-3 hour block on a Friday 5 days ahead of time, right? To be able to do a live stream, just to do a little, because I do mostly B2B and some catering and other things. But just to do that, I was having to schedule. And then the transparency laws went into effect, and it was just like light pink all the time. It was just like, you can just dash. Like for the last year. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't, again, even the pink, even the heat map doesn't mean anything anymore. I have said it less orders, but I don't need to see 33 bad orders and 2 good ones in an hour when all I can get done in a big city. Again, maybe you guys in your cities are going, I can get 3 done. Maybe you can. I don't know where you live. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 streets and it's all houses and super easy to navigate. Navigating a huge city is very difficult. So, I can get maybe 2 done in an hour. So if DoorDash isn't sending me 33 bad and 2 decent or 2 good in an hour, but instead is sending me 3. And one of them's like, no way would I take that. Or no, what are you thinking? And then the other 2 are like, I'll take those. So if I only see 3 in the hour, that doesn't mean, because the volume's down across the country, across the world. Nobody can fight that. Even their earnings call proved it. Yes, the earnings were up, but they were up for some adjusted reasons. And because of how much they're ripping off the business partners and the customers now, the whole thing is a house of cards. But once transparency is gone, and it should be gone everywhere, we should also be at the same time. Now, again, if you just heard everything I said, glitch, Uber Eats glitch, the companies just don't care. TikTok sales, they obviously don't care. DoorDash knows they're going on. I mean, like I told you guys, I've been doing research now for 2 weeks, and I get on, like Luis sent me a few to get me started. He'd send me one, I'd touch it, and I'd get in there, and then I'd just start flipping like I would in TikTok and scrolling. I'd go down about 15, the first 1 or 2 he sent me, and then I'd see another one. And then he sent me another one. They sent me another one, and then all of a sudden now I'm just kind of on my own. But now when I open it, it's like, if it's at night, I'll see all of them streaming. I'm getting turned on to even more of these people. The algorithm's more than aware it's happening, because it's even steering me into other people selling accounts. Like, yeah, I saw you in all these illegal places, but I haven't seen you in this illegal market yet. Why don't you check out this channel? Like, this is TikTok. And then all DoorDash would need to do is go, TikTok, end that crap right now. Now. TikTok's been enough trouble in this country. DoorDash isn't enough trouble in this country. They're not too fondly looked upon entities in this country. So if DoorDash says shut it down, they'd shut it down. But DoorDash, why would DoorDash? The illegals on the platform have dropped from the Facebook sales from last year. They have populated back in many areas, but they've dropped. Those were the $2 no-tip orders, the people taking those, the people that Luis exposed in Houston. And I won't say any more than that, because if you know, if you don't know, it shows how the algorithm never pushed that out. And I know that Luis is in Spanish, but, and when he made this, he was, but now every video Luis makes, by the way, guys, you can go to his channel. It will play it in English for you if you have your language set as English. He does sound a little different, but his point gets across still. So just telling you guys, check out his stuff. But he put videos out on that, and it did not gravitate. It did not fly well. So when I put this out, I really hope you guys help me share it. Even if I never share anything. This would be one of those pieces where I'm going to say, share it, man. Please share it. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bells, hit the whistles, blow the horn, do whatever you got to do. But share the one that's going to come out, because that's something that I want to be very proud of this piece. I want to be able to send it to lawmakers. I want to be able to go, yeah, look at, this is something new. Look at this crap. I want to send it to the lawmakers who have already passed laws here that I still have good communication with. I want to be able to say, look at this next level crap. Play the game long enough, you get to know some of the players. That's happened with me. And in many seats, yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't know where to start, but I'm trying. I'm doing it with you guys. That's part of why the phase 1, phase 2. If you're not familiar with that, let me put this up, by the way. You guys take a screenshot, or I'm not sure how you would do this. Oh, I can't do it anyway. Maybe Sue can do it for me. I don't know if she has it in front of her, but Sue, if you could find the change.org link, I don't even know where it is. I'm frozen here. I have a QR code, but I was kind of thinking what I was going to do was put the QR up on the screen, you guys, by the way. I was always thinking, like, dude, why can't you touch and hold a QR like you can a picture or something? Because that would be cool. Because when you take a screenshot of a QR, it's like, well, now what? Got to find another device, and like, So, unless like you guys are most likely watching on a phone. So it's like if you take a picture of the QR, yeah, there's a way to do it, but it'd just be easier with the link. But I would really like everybody to go read it. It takes under 2 minutes. If you agree with it, just sign it. Just sign it. You're just putting your name and your email and state you live in. That's it. No data, that kind of data, you shouldn't even care about these days. Who cares? Are you kidding me? Your data is being sold by the second on the dark web, on the above net web, on the side webs, on the I mean, for real. It's sad, but it's true. It's I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get control of this though. Okay. I want to see what you guys had for comments here in case there were any questions, but I'm glad that I covered all this. There's a damn glitch. We've all known about it. It's still in existence. We've all known about it. DoorDash, you know about it too. Uber Eats, you got one. You know about it too. You're letting drivers do illegal work. Even the rideshare driver kept 2 kids in his car for 2 hours before he thought I should call the police. They don't even know what they're doing. Uber Connect is illegal. Uber or DoorDash or Drizzly liquor orders that go out on any of the platforms, Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats, any of those, they're illegal unless you're properly certified. You people, unless you're certified, you are not doing this right. And just because you hear stories about there's a lot of illegals on these platforms. Yeah, but they're taking the $2 offers. You're not. So you're the highest suspect to get deactivated. DoorDash ain't going to deactivate the dude taking $2 offers. They're going to deactivate you. It should matter to everybody. Yeah, with that, I was hoping Sue would have the link, but I don't even, I wish I had, you know what? Actually, I actually probably do. And I wanted to end the episode, but if you guys have any last comments, I want to see Kyle's comment too. Something about the golden. I saw golden era before this popped up in front of me, but I just want to get this link. I cannot remember what I had it in last. No. Oh, wait, maybe it's here. I got it. Oh, there we go. Thank God. Oh, wait, did you get it? Oh, no. Okay. I see. So here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. This is the link. Right there. Check out change.org and please add your name to it. If you agree with it, read it. If you don't agree with it, don't put your name to it. If you do, put your name to it. Share it with friends. You don't have to do delivery work to add your name to this, by the way. If you got some family, you got some friends who do this, you got family or friends who are concerned with you doing this because they think you're being taken advantage of and they maybe even had that talk with you, send this to them too. They'll be damn happy to get on board with this. This doesn't end with a gig worker. Anybody can put their name on this. Just saying, let's get it done. And you know what? Yeah, we've got our driver support for Waymo, which none of us knew. being operated out of the Philippines where they don't know U.S. Laws for street. They don't have U.S. driver's licenses, and they don't know how to conduct themselves on our roads. I mean, how is that, even if they're not taking physical control of the car, how is that input helpful? A Philippine person saying, I don't know, go onto the left side of the road. Maybe this is why so many end up on the damn wrong side of the road, because they drive on that side of the road. You know? Unpaid taxes, illegal accounts. We all pay for those. I talked about that earlier this week. We all pay for those. So are you guys happy paying for all the illegal workers who, even the ones here who get deactivated, who start a new account, because they ain't going to pay the taxes on the fake account? Glitches, stitches, TikTok lives, thousands being sold. You want what city? We got you. You know what? I saw one, and it will be in the video, but let me give you guys a little teaser here. I saw one, and it's one of the biggest ones out there, say that they had a combo going. They were selling DoorDash and Spark in a certain amount of cities. They had them all listed. For the pair, you had to buy them as the pair. It was $1,000. This is one of the top dealers of this stuff on TikTok. For $1,000, you can get a Spark and a DoorDash activated account, and they stay with you on the phone while you do it. They even have a return policy to get you a new account if something goes wrong in the first 3 to 4 months. It is nuts. But here's the kicker. $1,000 for one of each of those accounts. But if you want 5 Spark and 5 DoorDash accounts, $2,500, half price. $1,000 for one of each account, $2,500 for 5 of each accounts. And with that, guys, I think we call this a night. Do not go anywhere. You guys must see the closing out 50 seconds of this, and watch the symmetry very carefully. Watch how they dance with each other.
Oh,